Okay, what are we doing today? What do we got? Tools. What are we
Hello.
doing today?
We are replacing the battery with a lightweight one.
Cool. Yeah, weight reduction. So we're gonna have a go in this car. It's a friend Michael's Golf R 7.5. It is just had the turbo swap on it. It is extremely fast, and it's all about getting weight out. I'm gonna see how it goes in this, and then we'll take some weight out of ours as well to complement the back seats out and things like that. All right, undo battery. If you don't know how to undo the battery, well, you probably shouldn't be doing this. Get a workshop to do it, but what's that, 10 mil?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can find your 10 mil, everyone loses them.
I have spares. That's the Eddy's Garage cooling mod, courtesy of Mr. Eddy himself.
And it makes you hear spoolie boy whoosh whoosh noises. That's why most people do it.
It's actually a fair bit louder. So how much did this battery weigh, John?
A lot.
Almost 30
Mine's not even that big. This is, so I've replaced my battery already because the first one cacked it died, and then these stock ones that take up the whole spot are just immensely heavy. So you feeling up to it? You gotta stretch. Gotta warm up. Watch the back. Bad angles.
So
Have you unbolted it? You gotta unbolt it down here too.
Nope.
Okay, you'd be lifting up the car. So down here, there is a, can you see it?
What is it, a 10 mil?
It is a, I think it's a 13. You know, we can't get the light on, but there's a, down there.
Oh yeah.
See? So that holds the little bracket in, so.
That's the old elbow.
Yeah, and it holds the base of the battery in. You want to have a look at this car? Ooh. It's got some nice SSRs. He's got to update the brakes, got to get some two-piece rotors. Floaters on, little plastic lip kit around, just like we've got on the S3. So this is a little battery. Oh man, that's pretty cool. Little bracket. That weighs nothing. That weighs nothing.
3 kilos.
That's so good. 3 kilos. Yeah.
But with the packaging, yeah, it's 3.2 kilos.
Nice, and it's got the to test on top. You can see what it's at. Cool. Yeah. Looks like I'll be spending some money to get one of these two. Lift.
Jesus Christ. And there's the difference. Compared to?
Yes.
Crazy.
All right. Massive difference. Very handy with doing different batteries. You can see here in the tray, you've got, there's a shadow there, 1, 2, 3 different holes for that bracket to put different size batteries in. So you could run a much smaller stock heavy battery if you needed to. That's what mine's set up at the moment, just because that's what came in my car. But this lightweight setup is going to be much lighter. How light? Let's have a look.
The moment of truth.
All right, standard battery.
Standard battery weighs, this is in kilos, 19.6 kilos. Oh, that's somewhat heavy. And the replacement. Oh, I saw 3, and then
Yeah.
it's too light to register.
3 kilos.
3 kilos, and then it goes too light. So we got 20 kilos versus 3 kilos, 17 kilogram weight savings. That is pretty easy weight savings, especially from an area from the front end of a front wheel drive based car that's going to push understeer, and from high up in the engine bay, which is bad for the center of gravity. So let's see, how does that fit? So that just nice and easily slides back. And then you've got the different holes in the front piece. So where did you get this from?
Great question. I'll have to look that up for you.
I put Michael on a track at it. I'll put a link to his video on this as well, and his little install. And he also has a link for a discounted price. So
10% off.
Ooh, yes. So I'll put a link to all his stuff in the bottom. It's a pretty sweet setup. It's got the bracket on the bottom, ready to fit, just drop-in replacement. How's that drop-in replacement going?
Good.
Perfect.
Just gonna get this bracket right. There we go. Yep.
Yep, you see the hole, line it up.
So a little bit extra for the drop-in bracket, but clearly well worth it. Save you having to fabricate anything yourself.
That said, it wouldn't be very hard. The bottom piece is like a heavy plastic. You could almost make one out of a cutting board. And as long as you have the battery bracket, this pit itself, which isn't that expensive either, bolt it all up. You could measure it up and make it yourself. But if you want to be quick and easy, this is only taking a few minutes. What is this? This is like a 10-minute job.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere.
There you go, secure. Now it's time to pop on the new terminals. Did Audi spend?
So Audi spent a bunch of money taking 15 kilos out of their block by making it aluminium for an RS3.
Oh, RS3, yeah, when they changed the alloy block. Yeah, and this was 17 kilos.
So we just dropped 17 kilos by replacing a battery instead.
So if you had an RS3 where the battery's in the boot,
Is it?
and yes, and do this, you change, really improve the balance of the weight in the car.
I didn't know it was in the back.
It's in the boot, yeah. And my mother-in-law's Audi A1 S line, 1.8 liter turbo. The boot is the battery's in the boot of that as well, in the spare tire. Cool. So yeah, we're attaching the little terminals. This little Allen key. Crank those down and then put them on. Lithiumax. Something I always like to check, because I had this problem with my Tommy Mackinnon, is that one of the battery terminals touched the bonnet and would short and made the battery explode.
Wow.
That was awesome. Yeah, acid everywhere. Had to repaint a lot of the interior engine bay. But plenty of clearance on this though. Good setup. So we're just finishing off the tightening. Now remember that the positive and negative terminals are actually different sizes. So make sure you get the right ones on the first time. Otherwise you'll be busy swapping them over again.
Not that that happened to us.
No,
Yeah,
not
we
speaking.
did it perfectly.
Not speaking from experience whatsoever, but just in case you heard about it. Look at that.
Okay.
Snug.
Now we need to code. That's where
Yep.
Mr. Eddy comes in.
All right, cool. So you got to change the battery. VAG cars are tuned for certain batteries. Now OBD11, you can change the battery in it, and you should change it every time you do. You put the model details and the specs, and because it helps with the battery management system. So we just started it up, and lots of errors coming up on the screen, which is as per normal anytime you disconnect the battery. So the way to get rid of that is a lock to lock, all the way to the left, all the way to the right of the steering wheel, and that'll clear those. But we're going to plug in the OBD11 anyway, and we'll just have a little check and change the coating for the battery right now. Okay, you got to do the coating for the new battery, especially seeing we put as a lithium ion. So we go in, we're logged in. On the OBD11, we go to 19, gateway. We go to adaptation, adaptation right there.
Very slow.
There we go. Now we go to battery adaptation, second from the top. Okay, now we get to change a few things. The capacity and the amp hours. This particular one is 48, so have a look and see what the specs of yours is. It says on it or on the receipt. Manufacturer. If there's, try Lithiumax. Who's the Mac? Who made this?
Yeah, Lithiumax.
It's only the first few letters that get saved. Yeah. No, 3 letters. There we go. Now we got to change the serial number. We got to change the last digits. How many ones we got there?
1,
That
2.
just tells the car. So track hack said he tells the car that you got a new battery in it.
10.
10. All right. I've got 1, 2, a few. So I've just changed the last digit to anything. Any
1,
number.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, so it's got a new battery, and then the battery voltage technology, lithium ion. Where is it? There, lithium ion. Okay, and then hold down the tech, and that's saving, and that's saved. And there you go. You now have a coated lithium ion battery in your car. You want to check for any faults?
Later.